Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought today we would have a look at something slightly different and something that I found out a few years ago and thought it was just really funny. And now I feel like it's the time to talk about it because there's nothing else going on, so why not slip in a video about it? So, obviously Metacritic exists as a platform. It's basically a place where you can find out about games, you can work out, how other people see them, how reviewers see them, and all of that good stuff. It's basically somewhere to give you an idea of what you're looking for when it comes to video games. And War Thunder obviously has an area for it. And what is really interesting is the massive difference between the meta score, which is from critic reviews, and then the user score, which is at 5.7. And I noticed this one day, and I was like, oh, I wonder why this is. And then I scrolled down and having a look at the user reviews, you can see with the critic reviews, most of them are positive, but with the user reviews, the vast majority are negative. I was like, what's going on here? Now, obviously there is, the decent amount of the community which has very negative aspects to War Thunder, even though they play it a lot and they like to constantly complain about it. But there must be something else, and I started looking into it, and then, first of all, had a look down here on the user reviews, and then there was one from Dream Rain that pretty much caught my eye. It says, I downloaded your game, started it, and was disappointed. Lame game. Infernal ping. Good reviews were bought. This is not a game, but garbage. The gameplay is full of horror. Foo. After 39 minutes of the game, I deleted it. The graphics hurt my eyes. Adding color saturation, they thought, hide Uzadsnub schedule. Failure. I do not recommend anyone. And I read that, and I was like, what is going on, and why are there 11 people who found this helpful? So I started doing some digging, and I went through all of the user scores. And what I found was the vast majority of ones which were labeled 0 were done pretty much in a 5-month period, from basically October 2019 to about February 2020. There's a few which are smattered all around the place, like in September 2019, basically extending it to like a 6-month period, but most of them are done in that period of time of October, November, and February, and they all come around the same time, and they all have actually clicked themselves as helpful, so therefore they're the highest ones that you see, even though the score is not reflective of it. And I thought we'd go through some of them. Now, before we start going through these, one thing I want to make sure that you understand. I'm not blaming anybody for this. You might see certain trends that I also saw when going through these things, and I just want to make sure that I don't know why these are like this, and I'm not blaming anybody, no matter what you see on the screen, okay? You will come to your own conclusions when it comes to this. Don't come after me when it comes to lawyering, and don't come after me when it comes to anything like that. Thank you. So we start off with Dream Rain. And Dream Rain left the same review for 2 separate games. One is War Thunder and the other one is War Thunder. I believe one is the console version, or at least a different variant of War Thunder, and hasn't actually left reviews for anything else. So just left it as it is. Then we have Dixby, the same thing. To say that I'm in shock, to say nothing. So I wanted to play this game, but it is not stupidly loaded. I do not advise. Fair enough. Not sure what that means. Maybe he doesn't know how to download. But yeah, only one review, so that's it. Then we have Jack. Very bad graphics and bad gameplay. Honestly, I was counting more out of this game. I'm disappointed. Fair enough, Jack. You can enjoy your goth girlfriend. Then we have Matarari, who says, there is some kind of trouble with the game. It just does not start. Is that okay? What do you think? Disappointment. So, once again, broken English, and something about not being able to click the download button and the play button. Then Meldonson comes in with another 0, and one trend I want you to have a look at is the fact that none of them have reviewed anything else, by the way, and they're all reviewing this game in a similar period of time. A very boring game, a long pumping of the account, Without donation, it's hard to play. The gameplay wants the best. Graphics at maximum performance freezes, although my computer is powerful. Fair enough, whatever that means. My computer works fine with it. Then we have Dixby again to say exactly the same thing. So literally the same one. Then Banan for Ick22. Once again, this review contains spoilers. So watch out, guys. We have spoilers for War Thunder. Because War Thunder is a very rich story game, as you guys know. So we need to make sure that people don't get spoiled when it comes to the story. And it's in Russian, so you can't understand it anyway. But the main point is that it is just one negative review, once again, even though it's from a different language, it's from the same time period, and also the same ideas behind it. Then you've got Alex here, once again, 1 rating, a 0 for War Thunder. Honestly, it's a very bad game. Gameplay is a something. This game have no balance, just no something balance. Bad battle rating, and about graphics, are 20 years behind. A mobile game is more beautiful than this game. I'm not sure about that, but but yeah. Thank you, Alex, for your thoughts. And then we have Gagradion. Thank you so much for doing something. He placed such hopes in this game, and this is complete something. Graphics sucks. This guy's talking in the third person when it comes to what he's dealing with. But once again, only one review, and look how many found this helpful. Look at it. We're seeing once again quite a large trend here. And then we have Bill Gray. Awful game. Who made such bad graphics? Constantly slows down. It is not possible to play. So another person who is struggling when it comes to his computer, download, or something is going wrong here. Then we have Aragona. Who writes about a good game? Did you even download and open it? This is impossible to do simply. This guy literally can't download and play a game. He's struggling with that. He doesn't know how to do it. And unfortunately, that means that War Thunder once again gets a 0 and reviews nothing else. Leonid comes in. Hello. Well, greeting. Good start. Decided to leave a review about this game. Well, it's nice of you to tell us. I didn't like the game. Fair enough. Gameplay is terrible. Graphics are complete X. My score is below 0. So Leonid is going for the negative numbers here. And then we have Johnny. And now it is time to see the other trend that comes through. And this one is my favorite because there is definitely something dodgy going on here. And it's all over this. If any of you go check out this Metacritic stuff, first of all, I would say you definitely should, because there are some hilarious comments in broken English, and also talking about how the story of War Thunder is terrible and stuff like that. It's just fantastic. But you can see here, so terrible gameplay, 15 minutes wasted to understand how to play. Graphics not impressed. And then we have, so ugly game, do not understand how to use weapons. I think they could create something better for those monies. Just waste my expensive time. Beware of this game. And you think you create the best game? So dumb screenplay. No logic. Just waste your time to play this game. Delete it. So that is Johnny's thoughts on 3 separate versions of War Thunder. And then World of Warships pops up. Oh. It's weird, isn't it? Thanks to the creators of the game. Everything, weapons, guns, and ships seem so real. Sounds are perfect. Let's play. So we have 0s across the board for War Thunder and a 10 for World of Warships. Is there anything else which has been scored? No. Let's have a look at Mark. Oh, what are we seeing from Marky boy? Oh. When was this review done? Oh, 2019, in that 6-month period we talked about. Weird. I'm very disappointed by this boring game. Awful graphics, boring, monotonous gameplay, the absence of any meaning. Mark is obviously a philosopher, talking about the fact that this game has any absence of any meaning. And then he says, I lost a lot of time in this boring game. It became boring in 10 minutes. Poor graphics, boring monotonous gameplay, online orientation, and the absence of any meaning. So Mark has lost a lot of time, which to him is 10 minutes, because that's how long he clicked in it. And then World of Warships. Oh, it's a 10 again. Weird. The game is interesting. Everything is in order with the graphics. Management is easy. Great gameplay. Gorgeous voice acting. You can play without money. I often get to stocks. Gold flew a couple of times. Well, thank you, Mark. For some very truthful and honest reviews. Once again, hasn't literally reviewed anything else. But you make up your own minds when it comes to these. Let's have a look at Papa Boss. Oh! Weird. The same thing. Bad. Very bad. And that says little. The gameplay is terrible, constantly flies to the main menu. It's not possible to play. Well, maybe Papa Boss has a bad internet connection, or maybe he's lying through his teeth. Then we have World of Warships. The game is in my top. The schedule is juicy. The music is excellent. What you need to relax in the evening with the boys. So, once again, a 0 to a 10. And then if you have a look, there's a ton of these like this. The Igor gave World of Warships a 9, so he's screwing the boat, only giving it a 9. And then you've got Avit. Avit went the extra step, as you can see, and found all of the versions of World of Warships and gave them a 10, and all of the versions of War Thunder and gave them a 0. And even wrote different reviews for each, just so people wouldn't catch him. But, at the same time, it's not hard to track these things, because it is how it is. Then, you've got Harry, who did exactly the same thing, and then you've got Maxo, who did exactly the same thing. So, there is a ton of these on Metacritic. It is nuts how much this site is, let's call it, compromised by these results, at least in this area. And none of them have been filtered out. They're all there in the helpful section. And as I said, they've all just clicked themselves that they've found them helpful. It's obvious that some kind of campaign has been done here in the 6-month period between, basically September 2019 and February 2020, because that's where all of these reviews are from. Now, I don't know why they've done it. Maybe there was a big push for World of Warships around that time. Maybe War Thunder released something around that point. I think that was probably around the time of Naval getting a little bit bigger. Maybe there was just a campaign of trying to demonize War Thunder from a third party. But as you can see, it's just very, very obvious. If you're going to do stuff like this, when it comes to, let's call it, trying to screw over your competition, one of the best ways of doing it is to not be so bloody obvious. And it's very obvious what we're seeing here. So yeah. If I would implore you to go to Metacritic and have a look at all these, because they're a great read. As I said, at first, playing was not bad, but the graphics just hurt my eyes. You won't play enough success for a long time. You split it into one, but it turns out quite another. Like, what does that mean? But there's tons of these. Go and see if you can find your favorite, and then you can spread it about. Because, as I said, it's worth having a look at, even if it is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm amazed that stuff like this is allowed to exist on this site. Anyway, as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Merciless Reaper, Jerry Provolt, Mega Dino King, Professor X1718, Orange Tail, Sakoshi Tiger, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Eugen's Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, Moxie, B. Young, and Derek R., Barine, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.